Hey guys, Bowie here, and today we're talking about OG.Topson Quas Wex Invoker in 7.16. I know this might piss people off, but not having the Pugna support is a big hit on the way my life was set up. I'm trying to become a caster now, and I'm not asking for anything besides honest feedback on my stream. I'm casting high marpubs every day and can vote which player I'll be casting. It's gonna be up 12 hours after this video gets online, and I would just really appreciate to have the same warmth and reception that I have here on my Twitch stream as well. Thanks everyone for watching, and hope you enjoyed this video. Until today, I'm almost sure I've never talked about Quas Wex Invoker in the channel. With Invoker getting more and more popular, I plan on having more videos about the standard style, but today I decided to make things different, especially because Topson is now an OG player, and I ended up coming across this replay. It's quite common nowadays to lay your ward before the game starts, since it's pretty easy for the enemy to click you before you lay it down. First of all, why pick Quas Wex Invoker? He's pretty good versus some matchups, mainly with heroes that rely on skills that can be easily dispelled or cancelled, like Tinker, Wind Ranger, Ember, or heroes that rely heavily on cast points, like Leshrac, Lina. The disadvantage of this hero is that you have to snowball and that you farm and scale way less than the normal Invoker. Sometimes you can just snowball and win early, but unlike X-Sword Invoker that gets golden experience globally with Sunstrike, that's not the case for this hero. You can also struggle with heroes that have high base damage in the lane, because this meta of range creep denies is pretty annoying, so heroes like Kunk and Shadowfiend can be a problem. One of the good strengths of this hero is trading early on. You deal less damage than normal, but your HP regen makes up for some of that. One thing to note about the Quas Wex Invoker is how hard you need base damage. Because you lack it that much, it's very common for Invokers to get the Blades of Attack before boots, especially since you're faster than normal with more points in Wex. Quas Wex Invoker is a lost art, so you can play it a ton of different ways. In this lane, since Topson is getting pressured, there's definitely more value in getting the second point in Quas than getting Wex. We can see some cute plays here, where he uses the tornado to harass and get some CS, but it's pretty prohibitive, especially with only one point in Wex, which means you're not doing that much damage, but as long as you get the CS and harass at the same time, it's okay, he was full mana anyways. If you don't know, Quas Wex Invoker is all about the interaction between Urn and Cold Snap. Urn ticks just proc the Cold Snap and make heroes like Leshrac very vulnerable. The introduction of Spirit Vessel in a way buffed Quas Wex Invoker, but the hero was so garbage when the item got introduced that very few play was ever seen, and in this game we have the chance to witness it. He didn't really pressure Leshrac much. Invoker with this build doesn't have a lot of mana regen, and it's hard to set up the tornado EMP when you have so little points in your other skills, which is your way of actually being sustainable. Landing the EMP is very important when playing this hero, because that's the way for you to keep on getting kills after kills. Landing good tornado EMPs means you get earn charges, you lose very few mana after you go for the kills, and for that you want more points in Quas that increase the lift time of the tornado. As soon as his earn is completed though, note how the game changes completely. He misses the tornado, but thanks to the Cold Snap, EMP hits. Also notes that during pretty much the entire lane phase he had Quas to withstand that aggression from Leshrac, but now he closes the gap with Wex and also attacks with Wex to proc Cold Snap more effectively. This gives him earn charges, but without his 3 big spells, he cannot go in immediately. He tries to hunt the Silencer with Ghostwalk. He just talks to the Silencer a little bit. He goes in prepared though. He backpacks the TP, he knows that PL is there. Also note how he uses the EMP once again to do damage and get mana back, but he gives up and is forced to TP away. He doesn't go back to the lane though, he smokes with an ally, and his job this game is to snowball like crazy. This hero cannot rely on farming lane and eventually throw a Sunstrike somewhere, because he just can't do that. And you also don't pressure the tower very well because you don't have XOR to get Alacrity. PL is a hard hero to gank though, he wastes the Doppel, but even then that's too deep and he just EMPs, cancelling Lash TP. This game doesn't start super hot for Topson, but you can see how Leshrac struggles against the hero. With level 4 Quas, you don't have perfect lift for the 2.9 effect delay on EMP, but with Cold Snap level 4 and Urn, you can hold that punny in place and you can see him melting without ever being able to cast anything. As soon as that hero falls, He doesn't have to rely on those earn charges to heal himself thanks to the Quas regen, and he's already trying to get the Spirit Vessel we talked about earlier. Also note that after using 375 mana thanks to the EMP heal, he's pretty much full and ready to keep on hunting more people. That PL is one of the hardest kills since he can easily dispel the Urn and Cold Snap, so he moves bottom. This hero is a weird version of a Quab with maybe like a Timber Saw in the sense that he's very disruptive, mobile, packs some decent AoE while at the same time having a lot of regen. Io eventually tries to relocate and Topson not only escapes, but this EMP that he lays out puts him back to full mana and he's free to keep on fighting. He tries his best to use the Ghost Walk to help his friends, disengages while checking Dire's inventories for detection, but never really found a lone enough target that he could kill. Waiting for Ghost Walk to be ready again is also very important when you go for kills where everyone's close to you, or else you're just going to be trading your life, so be wary of that. One of the biggest counters to this style of Invoker is U-Scepter, and you can see it being used right here. He's full X by the way, he finds Lashrack, but he can easily dispel everything easily. That being said, since Global gets used and Lash is flying, the Wex move speed allows Topson to easily get out. Note how he positions himself around the area while he waits his cooldowns and Dire engages, but with that Shackle Shot, Treant doesn't buy enough time. Another fight starts, and with the Quas levels being that low, you need to commit the Cold Snap after Tornado if you want to deal damage and drain the mana afterwards. Topson's first kill point in Exhort happens at level 10, and the value is very strong, especially versus PL, because at this stage he has a 4-second AoE disarm for that hero. Since the illusions cannot reproduce, they have enough damage to take him down at the end of the day. This hero's mobility allows Topson to constantly scout runes, bounties, and to breed everywhere in a way that few heroes can. Way back in the day, sometimes you would see people going Midas after phase earn, but in the days of Spirit Vessel being an option, I feel like there's very few times you want to be going for it. At this stage, if you slow your tempo down, you cannot help your team at all. It's pretty common nowadays to even play Exhort Invoker without Midas, so I like this Vessel into Ag's option, especially against a hero like PL that will ramp up in aggression once he has Diffusal Blade. This hero is literally the king of pickoffs. He sees his allies fighting top, then Silencer bottom, which means it's very unlikely he has backup, so he can easily go for that support. The beauty of this hero is not necessarily how easy he can get pickoffs, but how fast he moves around the map, getting multiple of this, while also spending very little mana, while also scaling super hard once you get those Exhort points at the end of the day. After that, a fight starts top, and with a quick TP to the shrine, look how this time, since he sees Lash using use aggressively, he can go for the punny. The EMP drain puts him on more mana than when he started, and thanks to the move speed, he can use Alacrity and walk people down with max points in Wex. Usually, you see people switching orbs to Exhort when attacking, but it's clearly more value using Wex since he has so many points of it. This hero participated in 4 kills in 1 minute, and he's full HP, almost full mana, and has all the cooldowns and resources to keep on going for it. It was quite common to see people getting Orchid after the urn on the old Quas Wex Invoker, but with Spirit Vessel being introduced, you rarely lack damage anyways. On top of that, Orchid is another item that Use can deal with, and also an item Manta can deal with when PL scales and get more items. The eggs just makes your hero better as a whole, and not some gimmicky hunt people in the woods type of hero. With the buff to invoke using no mana, and end heroes having more mana and mana regen, Orchid is not a necessity anymore, especially if you're dealing with PL. PL is one hero that doesn't care about single target abilities at all, which means that Yags is clearly the item choice this game. The way Invoker works until you get Eggs and like level 18 is either a solo kill type of hero or a constant brawler slash disruptor of fights. Here you can see Cold Snap by itself forcing Lash to BKB, so he can get the Split Earth off. Thanks to Mirana's BKB though, it fails and the fight continues. The EMP defeating blast puts him back to full mana, and the Spirit Vessel allows the Mirana to keep on fighting. He also Alacrities her while Topson looks for the weak supports in the backlines. The fight by itself forces a Silencer buyback, and because Invoker is so ridiculously mobile, he can easily get away. Since he's that low, he finally uses Spirit Vessel defensively. The strength of this hero lies in being able to go in and out of fights to kill heroes with no ability to dispel the combo. Io dies again, and Topson, since he is that fast, disengages and doesn't TP straight away. He waits to see if he can get even more, and yes he can. Not only that, he can still disengage because of how slippery this hero is. He makes sure to only Ghost Walk after the curse ends, and his impact is unparalleled. He even re-engages, but this time doesn't have the balls. That being said, they get a free tower top, and he's always full HP because of Max Quas. He can move around super fast because of Wex, and he doesn't even have the Eggs completed yet. As you get your eggs, there's not a lot of differences between a Quas Wex Invoker and an Exort one anymore. Before you get more points in Exort though, the priority in skills you use changes a little bit. You're rarely going to see the Meteor or Forge Spirits as an opener of a fight. More often than not, you're going to use Tornado EMP, and in this situation, thanks to having 2 points in Exort and Eggs and going for a support, the Sunstrike actually gets the kill. But you're not going to see that very often, and thanks to having Wex selected, he's so fast that he can actually cast the Spirit Vessel and Cold Snap on Lashrak after BKB fades away. But that's not only it, he can quickly switch to Ghost Walk while dodging the PL, while being super fast, getting that kill. And thanks to the defensive Vessel, Alacrity, and him saving the blast for after the Doppelganger, they secure a kill on Gork's Phantom Lancer. As you get more points in Exort, you can see that Topson can farm creep waves with 1 creep boop plus Tornado at the end. And also note how he ignores the talents completely. One of the big problems that this Invoker faces in the mid to late game is lack of damage. One extra Forge Spirit with a talent when you have no Exort means nothing. Getting that Exort up to par is very necessary, so that you can scale in case the game takes too long, and in this game, Gork's PL made it pretty hard for Topson to end the game. Keep watching. At this stage of the game, the Invoker reminds the normal style more and more. He shows the lane, sends a Forge Spirit to split push as he watches a fight bottom. And thanks to the eggs and some extra Exort levels, he already has enough damage to deal with a hero like Silencer with the combo. Note though how he waits a decent time to lay the Meteor. With an Invoker like this, with max point in Quas, you have 2.9 lift duration, so you have to account for that. Since he doesn't right click for much damage, he alacrities the catapult and makes sure to get a tier 3 for his team. He also zones the Wind Ranger with Cold Snap Veil and ends up retreating when Gork shows up. As the game unfolds, this Invoker becomes more and more similar to the standard Invoker. They end up getting 2 lanes of barracks, but Dire's high ground is pretty tough. Here you can see a nifty little trick from Topson. He drags Roshan towards the entry of the pit, and with the Ice Wall, he can attack Roshan from far away, without taking any damage. Usually Invokers use the Forge Spirits as a tank, but with Roshan being tougher now, and him missing the Forge talent still, that's a good trick to go for Rosh. This style of Invoker works better if you have a scaling carry that makes use of attack speed. In this case, the hero's Murana. It's not the greatest one, since PL is not the best matchup, but not awful either. This game was fairly long, and hopefully you got a good grasp on how this hero works, and if you want to keep watching, there's some crispy music going on, and here's the replay ID. As of always guys, if you care what I do here, if you want to see me growing even further, you can follow me on Twitter for more Dota tips, for some shitposts, and just standard Twitter stuff. If you want to see me playing or casting, here is my Twitch link. If you want to get some spoilers about next video or what I'm doing with my life, follow me on Instagram. And if you want to talk with people that care about Dota or your crispy boy, join our Discord channel. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there. And that's it guys, hope you had a fantastic time. I definitely love making this video, and please remember, this is the only way for me to know if this video or this player is meaningful for you guys. So like if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it, make sure to give constructive feedback, and that's all I can ask. I'm trying my best to be the best talent I can. Unfortunately, it's not that good yet.